ما هي الأخطاء والأمور التي تخرج السلفي من السلفية بحيث لا يصبح سلفيا؟ ما هي الأخطاء؟
ترجم له. واضح.
What are some of the mistakes, or what are the mistakes, or what are the issues that will cause a person who is Salafi to be taken out and expelled from a Salafiyah to the point where he's not Salafi anymore?
كل من عمل عملا يخرجه من الإسلام فقال إن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ليس هو مثلا، ليس هو خاتم النبيين، فهو ليس بمسلم وليس بسلفي. وكذلك إذا كانت هناك أمور يقبله السلفيون، مثلا وهو الصحيح أنه خبر الواحد الحديث الصحيح حجة في العقيدة وفي العمل، سواء كان في العقيدة أو في الأحكام. جاء أحد ويقول لا، الخبر الواحد ليس بحجة في العقيدة، لا نأخذ إلا من كتاب الله، فهو في الحقيقة وإن لم تخرجه عن الإسلام لكنه يجب عليك أن تخرجه من السلفية. هذا مثال. كذلك هناك أمور أخرى قد تخرجه من السلفية، لكن إذا أخطأ في بعض الآراء التي هي مختلف فيها والناس ربما يكونون بين آخذ وراد، فهذا لا يقال أنه خرج من السلفية. فأنا يمكن أقول أنه أخطأ، ومن الممكن هذا الأخ وهو سلفي أيضا يقول أصاب، فهذا لا ينبغي أن يتشدد فيه، لكن يتشدد في مسألة إنكاره كون الحديث ليس بحجة أو حجة.
The Shaykh said, every single action that a person does that can take him and expel him from the circle of Al-Islam, if he does that action, then it expels him also from a Salafiyah. For an example, for a person to say that our Nabi and our Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam is not the Nabi and he's not the Rasul. The one who says that, he goes outside of the circle of Al-Islam, and by default it necessitates that he's also outside of a Salafiyah. Another example is an affair or an issue that all of the Salafi people, that they accept and they embrace as being a particular way, like the issue of the khabar wahid, the khabar ahad. There's a type of hadith. We take the khabar wahid, that type of hadith, khabar ahad, we take it in aqidah and we take it in ahkam. There's a hadith that is khabar wahid, talking about aqidah, talking about ahkam. We believe in that. Salafis, they accept that. If this person comes and he says, la, I don't accept the khabar wahid, I don't accept it, I only accept it, it's not a hujjah for me in the aqidah or the ahkam. I only take from the Quran, from the kitab, that's it. We say someone like that, he goes outside of a Salafiyah because he rejected something that everyone is in agreement upon concerning the Salafi. And he said, that is an example. We don't put that individual outside of the fold of Islam for saying that, but he goes outside of the fold of a Salafiyah. As for the issues where there is ikhtilaf between the Salafi people themselves, they themselves, some people took it, some people reject that position. If a person were to take a position in one of these types of issues, like he pointed to himself and he said he takes a position in one of these issues, and then I am also Salafi, I take a position that's contrary to his position. The Shaykh said in something like this, he can say he may be right, I may be right, he may be wrong, I may be wrong. These type of issues do not expel people outside of a Salafi.
يقول في مدينتنا برمنغهام رجل اسمه وحيد عالم أبو خديجة، الذي أعرف أن اسمه عبد الواحد. وحيد عالم اسمه، وهذا الشخص ليس بطالب العلم ولم يعرف بطلب العلم والدراسة عند المشايخ، ومع ذلك هو يتصدر في التدريس الفتاوى، وصدر منه التسرع في التبديع والتحذير عن أهل السنة، وفتنه قد أدى إلى تفريق صفوف السلفيين، تنفير الناس للدين والدعوة. فما هي نصيحتكم لنا تجاه هذا الشخص عن ذلك؟
The question here is that we have a person in our city of Birmingham by the name of Wahid Alam, who is better known as Abu Khadeejah. This man is not a student of knowledge, nor is he known for studying with any of the scholars, yet he puts and teach. And he also gives fatwa. And what has come from him is he is extremely hasty in making tabdir, or saying that people are innovators. He makes tabdir of people, and he warns against people from Ahl Sunnah. His fitna has led to the splitting of Ahl Sunnah and has made people turn away from the deen in many instances, as well as the dawah. So what is your advice for the Sheikh to us regarding this individual and those who are similar to him?
جواب على هذا أن ما يقوم به هذا الرجل أولا من جعل جمعية أهل الحديث، بل أهل الحديث عامة في الهند وباكستان على ما سمعت منه ومن رفقائه في العمل، هدفا جعلوا أهل الحديث عامة والسلفيين عامة هدفا للطعن، ويقول أنا السلفي الصحيح غير السلفي وهؤلاء ليسوا سلفيين، ويحذر الناس من حضور هذه المجالس أو من الصلاة في مسجدهم. في الحقيقة أنا فكرت في أمر هذا الرجل كثير، وكما قلت اكتب جيدا وإن شاء الله سجل جيدا. فكما قلت أنه ليس طالب علم ولم يعرف بطلب العلم، لكنه يتصدر للناس للفتوى. إن كان هو يتصدر للفتوى من عند نفسه فقد ضل وأضل، وإن كان ينقل عن علماء في فتوى خاص سأل وفهم الفتوى. أنا أخاف أن الرجل بجهله لا يفهم الفتوى أيضا فينقل الفتوى خطأ، لكن إذا كان ينقل الفتوى الصحيح من عالم من العلماء المعروفين فهذا لا شك فيه صحيح في هذا الباب. أما أن يفتي بنفسه وباجتهاده فهذا خطأ منه كبير، قد يكون سببا لضلاله وتحمل إثم نفسه وتحمل وزر من يتبعه. ثانيا، نصيحتي، أنت تقول ما هو نصيحتك لنا؟ أنا أريد أن أنصحه قبل أن أنصحك. أقول أيها الأخ، لست إلا أنت رجل بين رجلين. إن كنت تريد الإخلاص للعمل في الدعوة وتصدر للرد على فرق معروفة في الضلال والهوى والبدع، وهي كثيرة في هذه البلاد وفي بلاد الدنيا، وانترنتك وكذلك أي نوع من أنواع إعلامك التسجيلات وغيرها تصل إليهم، فهذا خير لك. نحذرك من الكذب والافتراء، وكذلك تحذير الناس من جمعية أهل الحديث أو من السلفيين الذين في العالم يدعون إلى كتاب الله وسنة رسول الله. إما أن تكون مخلصا، فنصيحتك أن تترك ألا تجعل هدفا جمعية أهل الحديث. إن لم تكن مخلصا لوجه الله وتريد أن تتصدر فأنت وشانك، وسوف يأتي يوم يخزيك الله. وأنا أدعو الله تعالى أن يكون الرجل مخلصا أن يرجعه إلى الحق، وإن لم يكن مخلصا فيريح الله الأمة منه. وأرجو أن يبلغ هذا الكلام إن شاء الله هذا الرجل نصيحة لهذا. ثم نصيحتكم لكم أيها الشباب أنكم تتفاهموا معه، تجلسون ويذهب أحد. أنا لو وجدتم فرصة فأجلس معه مع الرجل ومن زملائه الآن، إذا كان بعد المغرب يأتيني فرصة حتى أفهم ما هي الأسباب التي لأجله يجعل كل عمله وكل جهده مبذولا ضد إخوانه الذين هم مشتركون معه في نشر العقيدة الصحيحة. بل هو ما أخذ العقيدة الصحيحة إلا من هؤلاء وكان منهم وفيهم، فهل يريد التصدر أم يريد إسقاط إخوانه والتصدر وراءهم؟ الله أعلم بنيتي، لكن دعائي أن يهديه الله، وإلا يريح الله المسلمين بأي طريق يريح الله المسلمين من هذا الرجل، بس لأن أذاه قد زاد. ترجمة إن شاء الله واضحة، يسجل ولا ما ريكاردينج؟
Inshallah ta'ala, before I translate this, obviously I'm not a professional translator, and you people don't pay me enough to be a professional translator. And the Sheikh said in his talk that he wants the people here to give this message to that brother. So what I want to say now is someone should take the words exactly as they were said and translate them. So I'm going to give, for the sake of the people sitting here, a overall view of what the Sheikh said, inshallah. He said that what this individual, Abu Khadeejah, is doing, and that he's criticizing and he makes many disparaging remarks and comments against this particular organization of Ahlul Hadith here in Birmingham, as well as the organization Ahlul Hadith in India, and what he has seen for himself and heard for himself, the Sheikh said, from Abu Khadeejah and his companions in this regard. He knows about him. And his statements will make one understand, like he's saying, that he is the only, Abu Khadeejah is the only Salafi, he's a real Salafi, I mean his people. And everyone else are not real Salafis, that they are the real true Salafis, and that the others are not true Salafis. And as a result of that, they warn, and he warns against this masjid and against people from Ahl Sunnah. Shaykh said, Ikhwani, in reality, I've thought and I've contemplated about this issue. And I must say that he is not known to be a student of knowledge. And he puts himself forth in order to give opinions, and to make statements, and even to pass legal verdicts. We say concerning those verdicts that he gives and the statements that he makes, if they come from himself, they originate from himself, then verily he has gone astray and he has led others to go astray. As for fatwas that come from the well-known scholars in our religion, we hear those things from them, the scholars, then there's no doubt that this is something that is correct, and we'll take that. He went on to say, as for him, I'm afraid that he may get in touch with a particular scholar, and when he hears what the scholar has to say, he may relay that thing, but he relays the fatwa, the statement of the scholar, the wrong way as a result of his lack of knowledge. I'm afraid of that. That's something that I'm afraid for him. But again, if he called the scholar, got in touch with the scholar, and he relayed what the scholar said in his correct way, then we'll accept that, inshallah ta'ala. So my advice to him, first of all, is I say to him, Akhi, brother, you are either one of two people, one or two people. The first possibility is you're an individual who you have ikhlas, you have sincerity. And you put yourself in this position with sincerity, and you have sincerity. If that is the case, if you have sincerity, then I say, why don't you refute all of these evil things that are going on in this country, and there are so many, other than focusing and training your eyes and your attention just on your brothers from Ahl Sunnah who are trying to give dawah to the same thing that you're giving dawah to. You are warning against people. So beware. You warn against people. Beware of lying and making things up about people, especially as it relates to the people of Ahl Hadith who are trying like you to give dawah to the same thing. So preoccupy yourself with giving dawah to the many evils that are in this country, but you're just focused on your brothers. The second possibility is that you're not sincere in what you're doing and the way that you're going about doing it. So if this is your situation, then I say for sure the day is going to come when you're going to be dishonored. The day is going to come when the khizyun is going to come. You're going to be made lowly and abased. That's if you are not sincere. One of these two people. So what I want the people here to do who are hearing this, to record it and to give this advice to him. And then he said to me, and he pointed to me and said, make sure you get it all. But I know I'm not going to get all of that. So the Sheikh, he went on to say, Ikhwani, in reality, I want and would like to sit with him and his people to find out what is it that they have to say. If I could do it after Maghrib or whenever, I would like to do this. I want to know, why have they made all of their efforts just to warn people about coming to this masjid, to warn people about getting benefit from this masjid and the people in this masjid, when in fact he used to be a person who was here who he took his aqidah, he took and learned his aqidah from these very people. So if I had the time, I would do that, to come to find out what is going on. So my dua is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides this individual to the right way, or if Allah chooses not to guide him to the right way, and I ask Allah, my dua is that Allah gives us the raha, Allah gives us safety and security and comfort for the Muslims from his evil, because in reality his harm has increased tremendously.
وقد ذكر لي بعض الإخوة في الحقيقة إنه يقول: أنا نبهت الحكومة البريطانية أن مسجد جرين لاين وجمعية التي في المسجد هؤلاء إرهابيون. يعني هو الذي نبه الحكومة أن هؤلاء إرهابيون. فمعلوم أن الجمعية لا شك أنها قد ذاقت محنة وذاقت ضررا في هذا الجانب في هذه المسألة. فإن كان في الحقيقة ما أخبرت عن الرجل أبي خديجة أنه فعل هذه الفعلة صحيحا، إن كان صحيحا فقد ظلم أبو خديجة نفسه وظلم إخوانه المسلمين الذين هم الحمد لله يدعون إلى المسلك الصحيح لدين الله، والله المستعان.
Sheikh said, it has been mentioned to me by certain brothers that Abu Khadijah said about himself that he has informed the government of the UK, the British government, that the people in this masjid are terrorists or radicals, and they lean towards that way. The Sheikh said, so this means that he has informed them of this. And what is well known is that this masjid, Green Lane, it has tasted and it has been tried with a fitna, a mihna, a trial, a test, and it has also been harmed as a result of this issue. The claim that this masjid is harboring radicals and terroristic ideas. Sheikh said, if in fact this is true of what has been claimed, then in reality this individual has harmed himself. He has harmed himself, and he has also harmed his Muslim brothers, the Muslims who we know are upon the correct maslak or the correct way, and Allah's help is sought. We have a question here, Ikhwati Fillah. What do we say to the one who says that a Shaykh wasiullah only defends Ahlul Hadith due to him being affected by the whisperings of some youth who have biased personal opinions? ما قولك يا شيخ في من اتهمك بأنك تدافع عن هذه الجمعية لأنه يوجد حولك أناس يوسوسون لك ويبينون لك الأمر على غير حقيقته، فلذلك أنت تدافع عن هذه الجمعية، وما قولك؟
أنا الحمد لله لا أقلد أحدا، فأنا ولدت من نطفة سلفية ما تقلد أحدا الحمد لله، ثم أكرمني الله تبارك وتعالى بعقل درس الكتاب والسنة، ليس بعقل درس علوما أخرى، فأخاف أن أزن الأمور بميزان حايف ظالم فأكون مغضوبا عند الله تعالى، فأقول بكل علم وبكل مشاهدة ويقين بأن الجمعية إن كان جمعية ومنهجها فيها شيء خطأ فيردني أحد إلى صواب في هذه المسألة ويقول أن الجمعية في منهجها خطأ. ثانيا، العاملون في الجمعية يأمرون بأمور غير سلفية وغير إسلامية ينبهني على هذا. ما رأيت شيئا من هذا أبدا، إنما كانت أمور قديمة التي اللقمة القديمة يلوكها هؤلاء ويقولون أن الشيخ الهادي كان يجلس مع الشيعة رافضا، والشيخ عبد الهادي يؤيد الانتخاب، والشيخ أنا أقول تأييد الانتخاب للمصلحة قد أفتى به علماؤنا الذين هم أكبر من علماء الدنيا كلهم ما شاء الله. أما مسألة الجلوس مع الشيعة أو غيرهم حتى مع الكافر، إذا كان يجلس معنا شخص يريد أن أبين أمامه فضيلة الإسلام ثم فضيلة اتباع السلف فيجب علي أن أحضر، ليس هذا حراما وليس تعاونا معهم. الدولة إذا دعتني أن أبين منهجنا فيجب علينا، لو ما ذهبنا عندهم ربما نكون آثمين في بلد يسكن فيه المسلمون يحتاجون إلى بيان الطريق الصحيح. فأنا أقول الحمد لله ما رأيت في الجمعية النهج الغير الصحيح. غاية ما فيه أنا ألوم الجمعية أنها لماذا لا توسع عملها الذي أنت هي فيها، لأنها هي التي تستحق بفضل الله تعالى أن توسع عملها في المسلمين وترشد المسلمين. أما الجمعيات التي أو الطوائف التي تعمل بإمكانية كبيرة نقول فسينفقونها وستكون عليهم حسرة، لكن الذي يعرف الجمعية إذا بذلت قرشا واحدا وإذا خطت خطوة واحدة فهذا لله وفي سبيل الله إن شاء الله لا تكون مخطئة. فألوم الجمعية أن توسع عملها من ناحية الدعاء، توسع عملها من ناحية فتح المدارس الصغيرة والكبيرة حتى ينتشر خيرها الذي قد أكرم الله تبارك وتعالى أهلها، فكلكم مسؤولون عن هذا. فأنا لا أرى في الجمعية إن شاء الله شيئا يعترض عليها إلا كسلها في عدم أداء واجبها كما ينبغي، وليس أنها تدعو إلى بدعة وليس أنها تدعو إلى شيء يخالف الدين الإسلامي. فالذي يقول هذا هو يتحمل وزره وأجره، وأما أنا إن شاء الله أقول بكل ثقة أنا بدون تقليد أحد وبدون أن يؤثر علي أحد هذا الكلام أقول في مكة وأقول في أي مكان أتحرك، ليس لأجل أن جالس الآن أمامهم وأقول هذا الكلام. هذا من معروف يعني علتي ومرضي أني أحب السلف والسلفية.
Sheikh said concerning this particular statement that was put forth, first of all, I praise Allah Azza wa Jal for the fact that I was born and raised Salafi. And I also praise Allah Azza wa Jal for the fact that I do not blindly follow anyone. And Allah Ta'ala has given me an intellect. And that intellect that I have is an intellect that comes as a result of me studying the Kitab and the Sunnah. And I didn't study any other science. I only study the Kitab and the Sunnah. So as a result of that, I mentioned that because my intellect has not been affected and my decision-making process is not affected by studying or as a result of studying other sciences. I see the affairs as I see them based upon the Kitab and the Sunnah. And if I were to take decisions and make them based upon other than that, then I would be from those who are astray. He said, first of all, Ikhwani, concerning this particular Jam'iyah, if in reality this organization has some mistakes, then please let me know about what those mistakes are so that I can use my position and my relationship with them to call them to the truth and to put the truth down. As for me, I have not seen anything from them where they are on other than the correct minhaj and calling to the Kitab and the Sunnah. But what we find in reality is that they are being criticized by these people for things that have happened a long time ago. Like, for an example, a Sheikh Abdul Hadi has sat with a person from the Shiite, from the Rafida, a long time ago. They're still criticizing him for that. The fact that the issue of voting in the parliament and the political system here, and as we've mentioned already a number of times already, that some of the major scholars who are bigger than all of the dunya, they have given the fatwa, the legal ruling and verdict, that it's permissible in certain instances and circumstances for the Muslims to engage themselves in the political process and to vote. If a person sits with the non-Muslims in order to explain to them what is the way of the Salaf and what is al-Islam, then what is the problem with that? There is no problem with that. Not to mention the Shiites, the non-Muslim, the Kafir, if he were to make that request. So if this particular government, for an example, gave me an opportunity or invited me to come to explain what the religion is, and I'm going to take advantage of that opportunity, and I believe in certain circumstances and instances, an individual would be sinning if he didn't take advantage of that, provided he was calling to the haqq and explaining the haqq. So I do not know about this particular organization, anything except that they're upon the methodology that is correct. I blame this organization, Ahlul Hadith. I blame them for their laziness in not opening up more masajid, and I blame them in their laziness as I blame others for not becoming more preoccupied in that which is going to do and bring good for the people. As for blaming them for opening up masjids, blaming them for the masjids that have been opened up and the education centers that have been opening up, where is the fairness in this? So as it relates to claiming that they are on the incorrect way, I'm not ready to be responsible to carry the weight of that statement. I'll leave that to someone else. And what I'm saying to you people right here, I say the same thing in Mecca. I don't come before you and I say one thing and then I go back there and I say something else, because my sickness or my problem is that I love a Salafiyah and I love the Salafi people, and based upon that I'm going to say what I believe.
لفظ وقت كثير فيه خلاص إذا كان سؤال يتعلق به اتركه.
So the Sheikh said that's enough. Well, let's not waste our time dealing with him, and if the question is connected to that, then leave the question.